In today's video, I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions that we get about our barndominium and our flower farm. So stick around. So the number one question that we get is, what is a barndominium? I did a little research and just want to kind of explain to you exactly what a barndominium is. So years ago in the equestrian community, people would live above their horse barns, hence the term barn condominium. Put those together, barndominium. And then in recent years, in 2016, the term barndominium resurfaced again when Chip and Joanna Gaines on the famous show Fixer Upper actually converted an old barn into a livable space for a home. So the barndominium craze began and gained popularity. So nowadays, the most popular form of barndominium are actually steel structures. So it's a steel frame, a metal frame with metal siding and metal roof. Another type of barndominium is actually a barn conversion, or an old barn that's been converted to a barn living space. That is what we live in. We had an old barn that we actually converted into our home. And then lastly, another type of barndominium is actually a pole barn that someone has enclosed and made that into a livable space. So now that you know what a barndominium is, the next question that we get is, are barndominiums cheaper to build than a traditional conventional home? Well, in short, the answer is yes. On average, a barndominium is less expensive to build than a traditional conventional home. The reason why is because the nature of a barndominium, for instance, a steel metal building, you can buy a kit and it comes with the metal framing, the exterior siding, and the roof all in one package deal. There are tons of barndominium contractors these days who will not only draw a floor plan up for you and you can modify it however you want to, but they will actually come and erect the building on your property for you, and then all you have to do is finish it out. And of course, if you want to go the route that we did, actually taking an existing barn and converting it into livable space, that is also more cost effective. So in May of 2021, if you're watching this video later, Architectural Lab magazine actually featured an article titled "The Rise of Barndominiums and Why You Should Buy One." In this article, they stated that barndominiums are versatile, easy to construct, more spacious, more durable, and more cost effective. The average cost of a conventional home at that time was $145 a square foot, and barndominiums came in around $95 a square foot. So the next question that we get quite often is your ceiling insulated? So I've shown pictures in previous videos and on my Instagram account. If you don't follow me over there, I have tons of pictures, but I've shown pictures of our ceiling. Our great room is like 21 feet tall, and I've got open exposed trusses, and I love it. I think it's quite beautiful. But people always say, is that insulated, or how did you insulate that? Yes, it's insulated. We have foam insulation above our ceiling finish, which leads me to our next question. Is your barndominium difficult or expensive to heat and cool? That's a great question. And the answer is no, not at all. In fact, our previous home, which was a conventional two-story home, which is less square footage than our barndominium, was actually more expensive to heat and cool than our barndominium. Our barndominium is 3,000 square feet. That includes a loft area and a bunk room upstairs. We have a 5-ton central heating and air conditioning unit. So I went back and looked at our electricity bills from last year and I averaged them out. We live in Northwest Florida and it's super, super hot and humid here. So we run our air conditioning all the time and keep it quite cold. So I went back and I did an average of what our power bill was for last summer, and it came in at $306.47 on average. Now we also have a guest house which is right next door, and we keep the AC on there, and they are both on the same meter. So that's running both houses, and I think that's pretty good. And then in the winter months, our average was $231.06. So as you can see, it's very cost effective to heat and cool. Of course, you may be in a different part of the country than us, so it's not apples for apples. I will say this though, our upstairs loft and bunk room area runs about 2 degrees warmer than downstairs. And yes, I did check that with a thermometer. But as I mentioned in previous video, if that bothers you, you could probably just install a split unit and have one for upstairs and one for downstairs with separate thermostats. But it doesn't bother us. We just turn the ceiling fan on, it circulates the air, and you really can't tell that much difference. So the next frequently asked question that we get is, what type of flowers do you grow on your flower farm? Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer because we don't have enough time. Well, I actually have about 28 different varieties of flowers growing right now, but I'm just going to show you a really quick overview of probably some of the ones that you would recognize. The next question that I get frequently is, who do you sell your flowers to? So I sell my flowers to everyone. Now actually, locally I sell to florists, wholesale, and then we have lots of events at the barn that we sell flowers for. And we also have subscription services for bouquets. So if you'll check out www.blackbarnblossoms.com, you can read all about what we offer. So another common question that we get is, what kind of animals do you have on the farm? Well, right now we have about 25 chickens, 2 mini pigs who are my pets, Petunia and Petals. We have 2 dogs and a lot of cats. We have barn cats and inside cats. Another common question I get quite a bit is, what color is your front door? So my front door is equestrian green and I love it. The next question is, what type of flooring do you have? So we have LVP, which stands for Luxury Vinyl Plank. We purchased it at Lumber Liquidators, and the brand is Corelux, and it's 5mm thick, and the name of it, or the color, is called Natural Maple. So our flooring is 100% waterproof, and it's very durable. We've had it for a couple years now, and with all the dogs that we have, and traipsing in from the farm with boots and stuff, it's held up just perfectly. Another question I get a lot is, does the dark exterior of your home make your home hotter in the summertime, and does it fade? And the answer is no on both accounts. And the last question I'm going to answer today just came in recently on one of my videos. A commenter asked, how will your Barndominium hold up in a hurricane? That's a great question because we live on the Gulf Coast, about 36 miles north of Panama City Beach, and we actually went through Hurricane Michael back in 2018. I was inside this very room right here, and that was a Category 5 hurricane. It was very, very scary, but the Barndominium did great. We actually had 0 damage. We had lots of large trees. We lost several oaks in the yard all around us, but the Barndominium did great. And you know, Barndominiums are super popular in Texas, and there's a lot of hurricanes that go up that way through the Texas Gulf Coast, and I'm sure people have had good results from that as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and I hope I've answered your questions, and I'll probably do this again because I get lots of questions all the time. So if you have a question that I did not cover today, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and I'll try and answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, bloom where you're planted.